Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Hustlers. I've got my man Timo on today from t3media. Excited for this one. Roll that intro, baby.
I gotta stay on my hustle, you know that I'm grinding for sure. I came up right from the bottom, now they see me chasing my goals. Now they see me on the go, yeah. Now they see me on the road. It's time to hustle, yeah, it's time to grow. I'ma shoot for the stars and we aim for the gold. It's time to hustle, yeah, it's time to grow. It's time to hustle, yeah, it's time to grow.
Timo, welcome on, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bro. Pretty grateful and stoked to be on the Hustlers podcast, mate.
No, it's awesome to have you, bro. I think people are going to learn a lot from this. Obviously, we'll start with the sponsor. Obviously, we're sponsored by, this podcast is sponsored by Bout Fitness in Mount Maunganui and Papamoa. We're actually sitting in the gym today. It's an awesome gym, great culture. By the time you're seeing this, you would have seen we just done a podcast with them. And we do have a deal with them. So if you go in and you mention Hustlers, you get a $0 joining fee, so you save yourself $50 and you save yourself another sort of $50 with your first week free. So may as well try it out. Brother, do you just want to sort of introduce yourself and sort of your journey from the start and how you sort of got to where you are today?
Sweet, bro. Yeah. So, kia ora. For those that don't know who I am, my name's Timo Brooky, and I am a director with my wife actually of our small business called t3media, and we're currently located here in Mount Maunganui, and pretty much, bro, my story is I grew up in a little town just over the hill called Matamata.
True, you grew up in Matamata?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. So spent a good 18 years there, and I was head boy in my last year there too, so that was really cool. It opened me up to heaps of opportunities in terms of like public speaking and that as well. So I felt through school, had a lot of things like, sports, the old High School Musical, school production, things like that, bro, were like all great opportunities to meet people and just test the waters with things to like find my passion. But in year 12 and year 13, that's where I really found my my passion with filmmaking, I suppose. Yeah. So did you have media studies at school, bro, as a subject?
Yes, I did. Is that where you found it, bro?
Yeah. So I just remember the like hearing about it and hearing that like some of the assignments were like making a music video and like making a documentary. Yeah. And so like I was like always trying to find a class A that I could, I don't know, not take the easy option, but just find classes that were fun. So PE, tourism, like so that's why I took media studies, and then we'd have a event at the end of each year for media studies called the Moscas. And this was like a little low-key, like a low-key Oscars event. And both years, bro, like the music video I made, like won like the best prize, like best video. And then the year after, me and my mate did like a piss take documentary on like a guitar hero rock star.
Oh, yeah.
And we won like best video for that as well. So
do you remember the music video you did?
Yeah.
Did you make the song up as well?
Nah, my brothers did, bro. So they were into like hip hop music as well. So they'd actually make some of their own music, and then I'd always try and like make it.
Shit.
But bro, you got to watch them. The video is so cringy to watch. Like,
do you still have them?
Yeah, they're on YouTube, bro.
Bro, we're snipping that. We're chucking it up. We have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll suss a link for that. But I think through that, like winning those prizes, sort of like ignited the fire for me and planted the seed, I suppose, like in terms of finding something, that I was passionate about, something that I was good at. And this is like back in 2010, 11. So there were no videos on social media back then. Yeah. So there wasn't really a pathway like for filmmakers then, really, like unless you wanted to do like the Shortland Street vibes on TV, or otherwise big blockbuster films was probably the only way to go.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I took not a leap of faith, but I knew that was my subject that I loved, and when I left school I wanted to go to university to further develop it. So went over to Hamilton and did a Bachelor of Media and Creative Technologies at Waikato University.
Yeah.
And, bro, just didn't really take it too serious, but we got to dabble in like a lot of things media, so like animation, graphic design, website. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, we did a whole bunch of stuff, bro, and film was a subject as well, and I knew like film was something that I loved and was passionate about, so I didn't really give much effort to the other subjects. I wish I did. Like, as you know, like when you're starting up your own business, it's good to be able to, have all those skills when it comes to like website, graphic design, even digital sound, bro, was something we touched on. So went to university, bro, and then pretty much as social media blew up over the years of like 2013 to 2017, like Facebook and Instagram started taking off. Pretty much, bro, I just started like, brought a drone, a GoPro and a camera, and just started making my own videos because I was inspired by other people that were doing it. Logan Dodze? Yeah, so he was like one guy, like, I remember his video that went viral. Do you remember with the GoPro when he was like overseas, his like first video? And
did he do something in it where he like jumped off a cliff or something, or
he was
back into the water, or did he do that?
He was doing like the transitions where he'd smack the GoPro.
Yes, I do. Actually, I do. Yeah.
So I remember that video, bro, and it was like epic, and I was like, man, if this like plumber can think up in a way of doing a video like that, like why can't I do that? Like if I've gone and studied it, and so I pretty much did a video of me and the wife glamping at this spot called Waitomo Hilltop Glamping. Yeah. And that got like, it wasn't massively viral, but like it got like 35,000 views. And shit. That was like 2017, and that was just enough to like sort of go far out. Like, you can do so much with social media online. So I was like, man, if I can have a video that reaches that much, then there could be a window there to like help other people get reach and engagement online. And so that was like 2017 up until now, bro. We've I've just worked away at a product and a service, I suppose, which is videography for businesses, and just providing it on a repeat monthly basis. So that's sort of like the long story short, I guess, of my sort of journey from getting to where I am now. But I don't know if you wanted to sort of how far you wanted to dive into the business.
Bro, we'll dive into all of it. Do you just want to pull your mic up a bit, because I noticed it's falling? With uni, bro, like uni is a big sort of topic around like, should I go to uni? And a lot of, obviously, parents push their kids towards uni. Do you feel like when you were at uni, you felt like you learnt a lot in terms of your field?
I guess so, bro. Like, there were probably like a couple of papers that really like helped me, like the video production papers, but I felt like I probably didn't give myself the best chance, to be honest. Like, I didn't really know what my pathway looked like after uni. Yeah, right. So I was sort of just going through the motions of like turning up to classes and that, but I did sort of feel like pressured to go to uni though. Like, I don't know if you felt like this at school too, bro, but like I found like in sixth form, seventh form, every week we'd have someone from some tertiary provider like talking to our year group about, come visit this awesome campus. This is like the place to go and whatnot. Like, whereas I felt there wasn't much, like options about, I don't know, like, not going to uni and like, here's, I don't know, if you wanted to go.
Well, I think traditionally, like, we're always pushed towards it, and I think it's more of a generational thing. Like, the generation before us, that was like the pathway. And I guess it still is. Like, for a lot of people, it's like finish school, go to uni, get your degree, find a job, and just like what you're saying there, like that reminisces with me. Like, I think of like when I was at school and like people would be like, oh, what uni are you going to next year? And like, it's just like the thing that comes after school. It's almost like intermediate. High school comes after intermediate and uni comes after that. I think with, and I was kind of touch on it when you were talking about media studies. So media studies is almost looked at as like the just take that subject because it's like cool, fun, and and like if you told your parents you're taking media studies, they'd be like, oh, what are you doing that for? Like do geography or something like that. And it's like reality is like that creative area and that sort of stuff is, probably has the most kind of effect on your everyday life if you go into that field. Like it has the most relatable stuff, I would say. Like you're making documentaries, you're making things, you're learning how to do it. I think within business as well, I think that, in my personal opinion, because I haven't fully dived into uni, I never went hard at it. I never really got, like you kind of said, going through the motions. I went for a couple of years, got fuck all done.
Yeah.
And so, technically I'm a uni dropout.
Yeah.
But I found personally the way I learn best is by doing, and I felt that I had a lot of the tools out there that you didn't need to go to uni, and I almost felt like the things that I was learning at uni was a little bit outdated in terms of business.
Yeah, I agree, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, and even sometimes, like, the university stuff isn't relatable.
Yeah.
Like, bro, my media films class back in uni, bro, like, everyone in that class was, like, out the gate, sort of, like, creative, like, I'm not trying to stereotype people, but, like, they were just not the type of people that I would, like, see myself mixing with.
Yeah, of course.
So I felt like a bit of an outcast back then, but like if you sort of think of the game of like content today, like like just the people I guess that are attracted to videography and photography with platforms that summarize your life, like that's a huge shift, and there's so many people that are into that stuff now. But like I guess what I'm saying is like I wouldn't have expected university to know what to expect in future to give us the right education to support that. But a lot of the stuff that I do today is just based off YouTube. Like I
was gonna ask that. Where do you think, like, where did you learn most of your skills around? YouTube. Yeah,
YouTube. Oh, like I've got a couple of foundation ones from like university.
Yeah.
So like I had a tutor, and bro, he was a pain in the ass when he'd analyze our videos.
Yeah.
Because he'd give us like a brief, and we'd all create a video, bro, and it'd be like 60 seconds, and he's like, oh yeah, do you think that could be shorter? And then like we just get it down to like 20 seconds, But he was just like really good at being like feral, like on videos, like being like, scrap that, you don't need that shot. Like
right.
So there's a couple of things like that from uni that were great, but I'd say, like 80% of the stuff I do today is built off experience of YouTube, like just finding the best equipment that suits the sort of stuff I'm trying to film, and then videos on how to execute it with that equipment. So
see, just like that, like you look at your videos, obviously it's unreal, and like to think that a lot of your skills come from something like that is, a lot of people would like be like, whatever, like, and like, oh, you got to learn that via a course or but there's so much information out there for free now that I mean, you got to have some sort of skill, and you definitely got to have the work ethic to learn it. And to, like, for me, I'm like, I like the idea of the videography and all that, but there's no way that I would like want to put the time and effort into trying to learn it, because it's just like not my field. Like there's people like you out there that I see, and I'm like, man, they've got it on lock, and you got to bring those kind of people in. Yeah,
for sure, bro. And like another thing that it doesn't have to be YouTube too. Like it could be just asking people in your area. Like a lot that some industry leaders like yourself, bro. You probably like love people, love having people reach out to you and asking for advice. Like, how do I do this, or how do I do that? Like I spent a lot of time as well. Asking people like that I really like their work. I'd just reach out and say, that's amazing. Like, how did you do that? I feel like anyone can like really learn something if they really apply themselves and go in with that student mantra, and just try and
student of the game.
That's it, bro.
Sometimes you just got to put the shame aside in that sort of area and just be like, because I even know, like I did that a lot. I still do it a lot. I'll message people, and like sometimes my missus will be watching me and she's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you messaging? Like, that's so shameless. And it was like sometimes you just have to be like I think I've gotten to a point now where I'm like, I just don't care. Like, I'm just like, you know, it's almost like you don't care what people think of you, or you don't care. And when you get to that phase, I think it's pretty good in terms of growth, because you just kind of like, I'm going to do what I need to do, or I'm going to learn what I need to learn, and I'm kind of not fazed about what people think about it.
That's it, bro. You just,
Judgment.
you're just living in the world rather than just living on people's opinions, eh? Like,
100%.
I don't want to ask in case they think I'm...
Yeah. Obviously, like, content's your game, because that's videography, photography. Social media is massive now. So many businesses and platforms in that are now built off social media, and a big part of social media, the main part, is content. How important do you think content is in terms of like growing businesses?
Yeah, I think it's like one of the key things, to growing a business. Like I see with the work you do, bro, and like one of my inspos has been the YKTR brand. Like, just seeing them deliver content that just resonates with their people. I just feel like it just sort of invites people in on the journey as well, and gets you know their audience, it gets their best interests and gets their buy-in as well. And I think that's just a key for a business to survive and also to thrive as well. Educational, entertainment, all that sort of content is it's just a great way to create brand awareness for yourself and to start building relationships with people.
Okay, say I'm a potential client, you've come in, you're talking to me. What sort of advice or info would you give to someone that's coming to you as like a client, like around what you do and why you do it and how it's going to help them?
Sweet. So I guess, depending on like your product or service, like I like to sort of, dive into that, find out what it is. And then, I actually
Okay, so I'm 138. I've come into you as a clothing brand.
Here we go, yeah.
And I'm interested in what you're doing, and I'd like to know a little bit more.
Yeah. So you're wanting to know about me or?
About what you do, I guess, and like how you would help me.
How I'd help you. Yeah, sweet. So like I was saying before, I'd try and find out, what it is about the product you provide or the service you provide. And then I'd like to dive in to find out, the character behind that. So yourself, the director, the staff members that are involved in that as well. So I'd like to find out, what it is that you guys do, the character behind it, and probably the third thing, like, what is your, unique selling point, like what really makes you stand out. And then, from there, I'd just make a bit of a plan about how we can deliver content that, supports those things, like showing people, like, this is our awesome product. This is the story behind it. Get involved and buy into it. And, eventually you'd hope that would lead to, people wearing your product. So in terms of like videos, is that sort of what you'd like to know as well? Like, what videos would I sort of suggest?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Like I said before, and this is something you probably know as well, like with the YKTR stuff, like, their pillars, is like education and then entertainment. So it's, about coming up with videos that, is serving either of those pillars. So, like for education, I'd start doing videos of, and like you already do, bro, the behind the scenes stuff, like showing people an insight, like, of what a day looks like for you, like the highs and lows of it all, so that people can really respect, like, this is the sort of thought process, this is the emotions that are going into this product. And, when people see that, they really want to, buy into it. And then entertainment-wise, like, I'm big on, like, things like skits. Like, like, do you know Johnny Tuivasa Shek? His stuff is, like, great, bro. Like, I'd start having a look at, like, what sort of videos could we do to, really, get some subtle branding out there that's not so much, like, in your face, like, here's a new 138 hoodie, cop it now. Like, it's about...
Not a catalogue,
Yeah. So, like, you know, like if your target audience is say like footy players or something, you know, like I'd target some like rugby skits.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's the whole, oh bro, can I borrow your hoodie? And you know, maybe they take 6 months or something to, you know, like give it back or something.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that, you know, a story
Smart.
that's relatable, but also, you know, at the end of the day, it's sort of planting that seed, like, you know, you're a human brand as well. So, you know, and you'd hope that the audience would want to wear your stuff.
I think what resonates with me the most with that is the storytelling and the story, like you said. Like, because as humans, we attach ourselves to stories, and like we love storytelling, we love feeling a part of something, and I feel like content kind of gives you a chance to do that, and it also gives a visual on things you're sort of doing from day to day. Like people might imagine, I wonder where they do their clothing from, I wonder how they package, and it's kind of like putting a visual to it, like this is how we do it.
Yeah, sort of like, you know, like what are people doing in the shadows, like, you know, bringing that to earth, is like, such a great way to tell stories of your brand. Do I need to readjust this?
Yeah, a bit annoying, the old mic stand.
But I think like it sort of cuts in and out, that's when you can tell that I'm not.
What's that?
Yeah, is it cutting in and out every now and then? Or if
nah, it's all good, I can hear you. Yeah, no, you're all right. It'll be fun anyway. It'll all work. Networking, bro, because like I know within my business, networking is important. Within your business, networking is important, but within like a service business, product service business, but like yourself, must be pretty, like, do you kind of focus on that a lot, or?
Yeah, bro, so I put a lot of time into networking, so the sort of key areas where I base a lot of my networking is, there's this one called BNI, bro, like it's a very, like old school, I wouldn't call it a Western, but you know, like a real old school formal way of networking. Yeah. And so in this group, bro, like, you can have as many members as you like in the group. Like our group has like 30, and basically you only get one rep from each industry. So, and in this group, we meet up once a week, every Thursday morning.
Sure.
Yeah, and basically, there's a real process to our meeting too. Like, so we all turn up, and basically to start the meeting, we go one person at a time around the group.
This was the meeting today you had?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we stand up one person at a time, bro, and you've got 60 seconds to just say anything about your business. But the aim of the game, though, is to, like, educate everyone else in the room about your business and product so that they can go home or go to their workplace or go to their friends and pretty much, I guess, sell, but not hard sell, but, you know, so that they can promote your your business as well. So that's the sort of aim of this group, is like getting to know one another so that you can, you know, pass on business between each other. So
fuck, that's awesome. Yeah. What's that, BNI?
Yeah, BNI, bro.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, I love being there because I was in a chapter, so they call it chapters as well. It's a large worldwide organisation, bro. Like, and they've got chapters around like everywhere around New Zealand. So I just go, to the Mount one here, but I've been to a few others, and I'm always generally like the youngest one there.
Yeah, of course.
I just love it, being there, being like the youngest in the room. Like, like you've got people like, you know, people will get up and talk about, you know, retirement funds and and they're saying like
shit.
Yeah. Like all the old buggers are like scratching their heads, and then but nah, so that's like a group that I really love, bro, and it's taught me a lot as well. Like, you know, like to work on my elevator pitch. You know, like
right.
Like you got that 60 seconds to like tell as many people, you know, like tell 30 people in the room something great about your business. Like, could be a testimonial or like just a benefit of using video for social media. So I do that, bro. And another thing as well, like this year I decided to play rugby as well, because I just know within a rugby club, you know, there's like, you know, if you think of 2 teams plus the coaches, managers, physio, like that's like 60 odd people,
Shit, yeah.
So that's why I like came to play footy this year, and like I've spent a lot of time as well, like doing stuff for the club as well. Yeah. And just by doing that, bro, like it's been a great way to like just get people for people to know that you exist and your skills exist as well. So, so that's probably my other part of networking that I do too. And just by being at a gym like this one here too, like Bout, Bout's been like awesome too. Like we did a video for them as well, and then like we've been able to get leads from that saying, oh, I saw you guys did that video for Bout. We're keen to get a video done on this. So I guess there's sort of not forced networking, but there's like networking where I'm actually out there doing it.
But, putting yourself in the right areas.
Yeah. And then there's the organic stuff by like doing work for our customers and our clients. A lot of the time that word of mouth travels around too.
Something I think that, I know for a fact that like footy players don't get right when they're playing footy is the networking. Like the amount of sponsors and people you meet that have so much interest in you and stuff. Like I remember when I went, like my first year down in Wellington, and this is just at like NPC level, like my first year there, we had like our opening launch dinner and stuff, and like us new boys were sort of just like sitting in the corner, kind of just like go up and grab a drink from the bar thing, and then just like kind of just keep to ourselves. And you see all the like older boys, like the older dogs, the guys like you got like Brad Shields and Ben May and stuff. Those kind of guys, they are all up there just talking to people, and you never know what comes from it. And chances are something does come from it, especially when you have sort of like a profile you do. Yeah,
you just like, if you give people time, you just don't know where that's going to, like, I've always got this philosophy too, like, you just don't know who's going to take you on a trip to Argentina for a video work. Or I suppose as footy players, you just don't know what, gig could line up after.
Yeah, and what like, so like, well, what life after footy looks like for you, like, because a lot of boys get stuck in the footy arena. They get stuck in the here and the now and the footy, and then they don't really think about what comes after. I think it's getting a lot better, but I think you could almost help yourself out a lot more by networking and talking to those guys.
100%, bro. Is there a couple that like, I just think I keep seeing Dan Carter on the Chemist Warehouse stuff, but but do you who do you think like really nails it and gets amongst it?
I think Bowden Barrett's onto it and very smart about what he does outside of footy. I think TJ Perenara is another guy that's very onto it. Like, I mean, look at Bowden Barrett, like, he's on the bloody Red Bull cans now. Like, is he the first rugby player ever that's sponsored by Red Bull, I'm pretty sure?
Yeah.
Like, that is just insane.
I don't think I've ever seen any sort of brand association like that.
I mean, you get guys that are like to a smaller extent that are really looking into what they're doing outside of footy and stuff. Like, I know Reed Prinsett, I don't know if you know him. He plays for the Hurricanes. He's a Lucy. Like he's studying law while he was playing for the Hurricanes. You got Mitch Carpick who's doing the same thing. You got young guys like Eddie Inari down in Canterbury who bought his first home quite young, saved up, got into the housing market early.
Yeah.
Far
out.
Yeah, just seeing boys like that kind of.
Where do you think a lot of them are getting that from? Like, do you think that do you think like social media and content has sort of paved the way for like? Not so much for those guys, I would say, but I would say for a lot of the boys now, it's changing the game. Yeah.
From here forward, I think that a lot of players are now starting to see that side of it. And I'd say it get across to a lot more players just in the sense of like how powerful this stuff is. And there's a lot of people preaching it now. Like, you know, a lot of people are talking, you talk about Waikatea and Ice and stuff like that. They all preach about developing yourself outside of the footy field, because footy might last you, 15 years at best. You might get to like the late 30s if you're lucky. But then you've got a whole life ahead of you after that. So it's like, first of all, what comes after that? And second of all, while you're earning such good money during it, what are you doing with it?
That's right, and like you're just building more legs around that too, so that if something happens, you've got backup options there.
Have you thought of like streams of income and stuff like that for yourself?
I have, bro. Yeah, that's a great question. I always sort of, in my excuse too, I tell myself like, oh no, I don't have enough time to do that because I need to focus on my, my main thing. But
yeah,
I think about it quite a bit, bro. Like I had this like, and it's probably already out there, probably already exists, but like the Goldilocks thing, bro, that you scrub pots with.
Yeah. What?
What I would do, bro, is like, because what annoys me about like normal scrubbing brushes is that like they're weak. They can't like, if you've got like rice on the bottom of your pot, you can't get it with that. So like my little hack I'd do, bro, I'd like put like a Goldie, I'd like sort of
on the end of a
on the end of a scrubbing brush, bro, and then use it.
You could be onto a winner here.
Could be, bro, but I've probably just given it away. But no, I don't think it's going to be much of a winner. But I always try and find like little life hacks that I try and do. I'm always thinking like, damn, I wonder if this could like take off as like a product. Like I thought about like even like mugs, bro. Like when I worked in like a corporate job, it was kind of cool to have like your own like identifiable mug.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So like I printed one and it just had on it like, I have a long black. And so I was just thinking like maybe even like making mugs that are like, I don't know, like personal somehow, or maybe at the bottom of the mug is like an eggplant emoji with a splash, or like just something real witty like that. But no, I haven't given it like too much serious thought, but yeah, those are some like a couple of things that I've sort of come up with. But what about yourself, bro? Do you think about that much?
I do, bro, yeah. More recent than in the past. I've started to think about it a lot more. That was probably the main reason why I sort of restarted the podcast, rebranded the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I wanted to, obviously the podcast has always been around, it's been called 138 Podcast. So it's always been based on my business, and it's kind of like my business's podcast. But what I wanted to do was sort of separate it from my business, so it almost becomes its own thing around me as opposed to my business, and start building more of my own personal brand as opposed to just building the business, because I want the business to be like one of the things, one of my areas, but I want the podcasting to sort of be something else. So that's kind of what it all stems from. Also the fact to be able to get like ads and ads like sponsorships and stuff on the podcast. It's a bit difficult to get sponsorships for a podcast that's run by a business. Like it's just a little bit different. It's a little bit weird, but having them sponsor something that's like your personal podcast, and I think it sort of opens up more options. But yeah, I mean, they like what's that saying? They say the average millionaire has like 7 incomes or something like that, 7 streams of income. That's have you thought about like with yours in terms of I was thinking about it just before while you were talking, is like a almost like an educational sector of yours where you're teaching what you learn or what you have and know.
That is definitely something that I feel like I could do, but being a classic Kiwi, bro, where the old Kumara doesn't talk about how sweet it is. Sometimes you can be like, oh, do I want to put educational content out? Because people might think that I'm like the master of it, but really, like I'm still a student. I think it definitely could be an option to, I don't know what that looks like, whether it's like an online course or like whether it's, whether it's something that people can sort of buy into, and then like weekly there's videos that I drop about, I don't know, videos that work online, or like how to film a video that looks like this. So I think it definitely is. I just feel like I've got a little bit more to prove. I don't know who to, but I just feel like maybe I think it'll definitely. I don't know, in a year's time, hopefully I've been able to achieve a few more goals that I can sort of have to back me up as proof.
I definitely know what you're saying around that. Like when I started the podcast like 3 months after I started 138, and I was doing these like business educational podcasts, so uncomfortable in that area because I was like, but I always said, which is what I feel like kind of would be the same with you. I always fronted the fact that I wasn't.
Oh, gotcha.
I wasn't this big knowledgeable businessman. I'm not.
Expert.
Yeah, I'm not the expert, but this is what I'm learning as I'm going, and this is where I'm at in my journey. Yeah, I'm just starting, and I'm learning, and I'm teaching as I'm going with you, and I feel like that's the kind of approach you can sort of take to it in a way, like kind of just like, there are guys out there that know a hell of a lot more than I do. Yeah, but this is what I can teach you.
Yeah, that's right. And like you can actually.
This is what I've learned.
Yeah. And you can take action as well and actually put stuff together. Like you'll go the extra mile to do that. So I think that's great words, bro. I'm definitely sort of hit the nail on the head there. That that's probably just my own sort of thoughts and security sort of thinking that.
It's the judgment thing as well, It always links back to the judgment thing, like we're scared of being judged or what people are going to think of what we're doing. And I feel like when you can sort of get rid of, and it's almost impossible to completely get rid of it, but you can kind of get rid of most of that feeling around, like I feel uncomfortable doing it. I don't know what people are going to think. It's when you get your most growth and stuff, Oh,
100%, bro. And like there's probably other areas that I reckon I've really been able to tackle fears, but but there's always room for improvement,
Always, bro. We're always learning, what equipment do you sort of use on a day to day, like in terms of because obviously with videography and photography comes with a lot of kind of gear, doesn't it?
Yeah. So sort of depending, I'll just give like 3 example videos, like for example, if we're filming like a construction video, so like whether it's a builder or a plumber or someone, that's either tracking or progressing through a build or finished a build, like we like to have like our Sony A7 Mark III cameras. We really like them. Just the picture quality, I feel, that we get through them, really makes things stand out and pop. And they're really great for like slow motion as well. So that's probably the key thing for us is like making sure we've got a solid camera to start with. Yeah. And we've got like different sorts of lenses for our cameras too. So we've got like a wide lens so that we can really show the scale of a house. And then we've also got a zoom lens which can really like get up and close on the details, whether that's people painting or like playing around with their tools. So we generally just like for something like that would have a camera that can shoot wide enough to show the place and that can shoot up nice and tight to show the details. And then a drone as well, which is great to be able to just offer that perspective of up in the air so that you can sort of see it in its own setting and landscape. So just like digital camera on a Ronin, like a gimbal. Yeah, that's really good because we can sort of get some movement in there, and by the time we edit that and slow it down, it's a lot more appealing on the eye when you see something move. Whereas it's still like
gimbal's the like steady thing, so that holds it still like kind of stable.
Yeah, holds it stable. So like if you wanted to like track or follow someone walking.
It's not like
you get that real cinematic look. So camera on the gimbal we use for a lot of things, like construction and even fitness gym videos as well. Like,
of course.
That's probably like our usual setup. Like we'll do that, and then we'll do some handheld, like the classic handheld stuff too, like just holding a camera with your hands, and like especially with fitness, like I reckon handheld's quite cool because it can really like sometimes I'll deliberately like shake my hands on the camera because it gives like a cool like high intensity effect. So there's like,
do you learn a lot of that stuff like by like just what it looks like, or you learnt it kind of thing? Because
kind of learnt it, bro. Like just sort of experimenting. Like I feel like if I've shot like if I'm filming someone and I feel like I've already got the same setting, same angle, like I'm sort of like, well, I'm not going to bother like trying to just get 10 of these shots. So a lot of the time I'll experiment, bro. And then when it comes to editing, I'll go, oh, that handheld shaking effect actually looks real cool.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Or like, rotating the camera, like, I don't know, like transitions, you'll sort of experiment with that. And then,
that's a big one, transitions.
Yeah, bro. And like, I always like analyze videos too, like, I'll be watching TV or a Facebook ad will come up. As soon as I see like a video, I'm like paying attention. Yeah. And then it's just like trying to figure out how the heck did they do that transition. That's sick. So, I do quite a bit of that, like just paying attention to like what other people are doing, and then experimenting it with myself, and then just adding my own flavour too to like what other people are doing.
How big's audio, bro, in terms of video and stuff?
Oh yeah, that's a good one too that I kind of missed. So like we've got just like 2 lavalier mics that just just clip on to people, and they were like, I don't know, $250 each, but I just found it on a YouTube review for like, they were like, the video was something like the ultimate wedding video mic.
Right.
And yeah, so I just got that like a year and a half ago, and I've had them since. Like they always do a great job of like capturing audio. So for like interviews or like, if we're doing skits or whatever, we use that. But then we've also got like a Zoom recorder as well, and that's really good for like sound effects. Or like the other day actually we did a voiceover for a video in the backseat of my car, and bro, like came up, it sounded like real legit, crisp and clean.
So it's just like a little recording device.
Yeah, recording device, bro. It's just high quality sound, so it's good for like voiceovers and like even sound effects. Like if I'm trying to like capture a sound of like, I don't know, the ocean or something like that.
Oh right, I've always wondered that actually, like how people get good crisp, like if it's say it's like a bird's eye view shot of like the beach or something, and you hear the waves crashing.
Yeah. It's not if you had to listen to the drones audio, it would be that. Yeah. So, and that's just another element of the game too, like you know, building sound into your videos as well, and you could either record it yourself or just download them online for free. Yeah. But yeah, that's sort of our typical setup, like a drone, camera, microphone. Those are the sort of key things. Yeah. We've still got more to get, and that's always hard too. You always want to splash out on new kit, but you just got to manage. Yeah, what you know, that with the cash you have, you just got to manage what. Especially
small businesses, like you just got to make do with. At that point in time, or where you are in your career.
Yeah, it's definitely been the story of the video journey. Making use of what we've got.
I mean, that's probably a big part. Like, if I think of like videography and content and photography, I think expensive, man. Like in terms of equipment, like photography equipment is so expensive.
Yeah, it
like
is.
Cameras and lenses and everything. It's just like,
well, that camera that's looking at me now, that's like, you know, $5,500 with like the lens together. So it's like, you got to have a bit of, I guess, confidence that you want to use it to like justify it. But once you do it, it's so worth the investment.
Yeah, of course.
Like yourself with your podcast set up to
What, like for your clients, what do you kind of like what's your role in their business like? So you kind of have a different almost an approach where you're kind of an employee of the business, is that right?
Yeah, that's right, bro. So like we like to go to our clients or businesses and say like we are one of you, like we're that videographer that's in your team, without having to pay someone to be there 40 hours a week. So for some people it's hard to justify having someone there 40 hours a week just to do video. So for us it's quite like a nice space to sort of go like, if you're interested in video, like if you see the value in it, here's something that we've got that almost mimics having someone there in your team. But you don't have to find work for them, 40 hours a week. But like I believe that all businesses, like if they had the money to do it, then bloody go for it. I reckon like there'd be enough things you could do with a videographer full time. But it's mainly sort of just jumping on the fact that like it was a barrier for people to have a videographer there full time. So that's why we sort of came up with our subscription model to support that.
Still is a barrier, like, and especially like if I think about myself, like definitely, like it's that area. Like I've looked at trying to think of like an intern or something. That's actually how we linked up. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So
bro.
I try to put out a thing about like trying to get a someone who's keen to come in as like almost like an intern to help and build their portfolio at the same time. We kind of they help and they follow us around a bit. I put that up and someone linked me to you. And then I sort of looked at your page and I was like, oh no, he's like set, like he's his own thing. Like that's not what I'm looking for. Like he's already set up. Like he's a proper business. Like I was kind of looking for someone that's wanting to learn or.
No, I respect you for still reaching it anyway, bro. Because it's cool to still be able to work with like like young brands and people like yourself, bro.
And obviously we're doing something at the moment, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
to kind of help each other out in a way, I guess. That doco sort of short film kind of thing that we're building. So pretty excited for that.
Yeah. Got to watch out for it, eh?
Yeah. Going to be a slow sort of process, but we'll get there. Like we'll definitely get there once we have the content.
Yeah, progress, not perfection, eh? So
100%, bro. 100%. We're in no rush. How big are you on sort of like self-development and that, bro? Like in all areas? Like, are you quite like trying to level up in those areas, or?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like I like before I took the plunge and went full time with my business, like I was like getting a mean pay for my job beforehand, and like I was only working like 4 days a week for them, so I had this spare day where I was like working on my business, I suppose. So they were happy times, you know, like I was getting a bit of time to work on video, I was getting paid really well.
Yeah.
And then I've always been like a pretty balanced guy as well. But I was really excited then, and then when I went full time into the business, I still remember my second day, bro, just being like, it dropped from like being excited to like rock bottom, like I was just crying in bed. I was like, what the hell am I up to? Like I was just like, far out, like is the grass actually greener here? Like, just freaking out, bro, just super overwhelmed. So sort of from that day, I've sort of been like, I was sort of like expecting like it to be a roller coaster, but I didn't expect it to sort of like really like hit me in the feels like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, I've been like since then I've been, I guess, experimenting with things, you know, that might help me sort of develop myself. And like there's things like meditation, like I need to try it again, because I sort of tried it for a bit but couldn't really, I didn't sort of dedicate myself to it enough. But right now, like I feel like I've got like the perfect routine locked down for my self-development. So self-development for me is huge. Like if I feel like if I'm working on myself, like to be better, then I just feel like a lot more fulfilled during the day. Like like there's a few things that I do to sort of, you know, set my intentions for the day. So like my routine, just to quickly sum it up, like I'll have a prayer to start. I'll go through some affirmations. I'll do some visualizing of what 5 years looks like. And then I'll read a book, bro. Like I'll just go 5 pages. And if I'm feeling like into it, like if the flow's happening, I'll just keep reading. And then after reading, I'll finish with a scribble, which is like, I just write down one thing I'm excited for today, one thing I'm grateful for, and one thing I'm committed to doing. So like it's generally like a half an hour window, but like once I go through all of that, bro, I just feel like just like really uplifted and you know, like excited, grateful, committed. So just by starting the day like that, it just really encourages me to like
you do that every day?
Or like
most of the time,
bro. Like I'm not going to be a guy that says bro, every day. Like Monday to Saturday, like I reckon I'd probably get a decent dig at it. But some mornings I'll just if I've got too much on, like I'll have to sacrifice, and I can feel it too, like later in the day when I haven't done that.
That's cool, bro. I like that.
No, I enjoy it, bro, and I've got like 2 years now worth of like journals that I've written, like something I'm grateful for.
Right, and you kept it all.
That's
still awesome, got them, bro.
So it's pretty cool to look back. The first ones I was writing, you know, is like, had to cry this morning. What am I up to? And then, you know, like, and just seeing the progress to now. But self-development's like, huge for me. Like I get so much satisfaction out of just knowing that I've done something to progress myself further every day.
Routine, I guess, is pretty important, Like I see a lot of, you know, those very successful people that always have routines and how they go about sort of setting up their day in a way, I guess.
Yeah. How do you find routine, bro? Because I find it hard, like with my work, because I'm some days like 3 days in a row I'll be on the road, or like it's hard for me to set up a Monday to Friday routine, but that's sort of as routine as I can get for now, like at the mornings. How do you find it, bro? Like being like, you know, with baby? And
that's the biggest change, bro. So before that, very, very routine orientated. I always had like a time I'd get up. This is what I would do, and like I'd get up, I'd make a coffee in the coffee machine, have some breakfast, get into some work, or like I just had my little windows of something I'd definitely do, and have my day set out. Like I always, because when I came, like obviously coming from like a rugby background, you're almost told what to do 100% of the time. So
True.
You get sent your timetables for the week, and like you got to be at gym at this time, then we've got a review meeting at this time, and then you've got a lunch break, and then at this time you're going to be training on the field. And so it's like you get caught a routine sort of lifestyle, and I feel like that's where I am most, where I work best, when I have a routine, when I know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. Having a baby throws the massive spanner. Honestly, bro, it's like you don't know when you're going to wake up, because they'll wake up early, and then some nights they have terrible nights, and so you're up all night, and then you don't want to wake up at a certain time because you've been up all night, and their needs obviously always come before everything. I think we're in a teething stage, I guess, because he's just been born. My partner obviously still can't kind of go to work yet because she's got to help after baby, and so we're kind of in a teething stage and first baby and things like that. So
it's gonna be tough, bro. Got to be like, you know, I find for me like having my own personal time, like windows, like you said, to like do stuff. Like if I miss out on those, I get so frustrated. So you must have to cope, like the both of you, I suppose, you and your partner, like, you know, like adjusting to that.
I think it's human nature though as well. Like we're kind of built for it, I think, and it's kind of like I think about some of the days that we have, and I'm like, shit, I can't, like, what do we do? Like, how do we do that? Like, what the hell? But you're just like, you think, fuck, humans were just made to be like this. Like, we just can deal with it. And I think the love that you have for a child is just like, it supersedes everything. It's just like, it's hard, makes it, everything's, you know, definitely, well, not everything, but things become a bit harder, and some areas are quite a lot harder, but like you wouldn't change it because it's just like most amazing thing that's ever happened to you. And it'll be you soon, bro. We'll be sitting here in the next podcast and you'll be talking about it, bro. But yeah, no, it's it definitely is a little bit trickier with a baby, but I think you get through it. Is that on the cards at all, or what?
Oh, no, not too much, eh? Like we've sort of like, I'm 27 now, like turning 28 in October. But like when I talk about my morning routine, like my visualizations, like I'll visually in my head go, all right, like close my eyes, 5 years, I'm thinking a house by the beach. And we've got a dog, so so at the moment we don't have, you know, like a kid on the cards, and like Sarah, my wife, she's like, we almost like, I wouldn't say selfish, but you know, we like love having our time to explore and sort of do things at our pace. But when the moment comes, I'm sure we'd be happy to.
Definitely. Sometimes the moment just comes, bro.
It just happens before you.
It happens before you even get to pick, bro. But yeah, no, I think it's pretty rewarding, bro. If you think back to like when you first started, like you said, you took that plunge and you went full time into your business. What was like, you know, like how was that, bro? Because I think a lot of people would be scared to do that. I know for me, going across to that full time kind of feeling was just like, mainly because you don't have a set amount of money that you're going to get. You're not guaranteed an income every week. You have to work for it, and although it comes with fun and enjoyment and being your own boss, there are realities to it as well. How did you find that, bro? I
found it, I guess the way I set it up sort of like helped that plunge, or like that leap. Didn't feel like as much as it didn't feel too risky, like the way that I was sort of going out on my own. Like I sort of had a number set, like if I could have, so basically back then, bro, like my subscription thing then was like 4 videos on social media for like $600, including GST. Right. So it's which was a lot of work, bro, for like bugger all money, but I just needed to start, and like that's what I was telling myself, like it's all right, like you can work away on it, but I just needed that start. So I sort of said, like, how much money do I need to pay for rent, and all those other things, and I sort of just worked out, right, I'd need 6 clients to have me on my monthly video subscription for me to pay the bills. So before I handed in my resignation, I sort of went to these to businesses that I'd worked with before that I'd just done one-off videos with, and I just sort of said, I'm looking at going out on my own. If you liked, the work we had done before, I've got a video subscription rate that's so cheap, like you don't want to miss out. Yeah. But yeah, sort of like saying like, I'm going out on my own, like would love to work with you. And I was grateful that like six of them said yes. And so we got started from there. So like in terms of like forecasting work, it was quite lucky that I had it on that monthly subscription. And I like had went through a lawyer and got like a proper agreement written up too.
Oh, that's good.
So I was committing to the videos and they were committing to the payments. So it sort of released a bit of pressure of like making sure like money was coming in. And I feel that's probably like where a lot of videographers as well probably fail or like can't find their way to get started because typically you just sort of take the one-off projects as people ask for it rather than going out to seek business yourself. So it wasn't too bad, bro, but like I said earlier, like it was just sort of the mentally and spiritually, I suppose, as well, just having that belief that what I was doing was right. That was probably, the biggest challenge, like just putting those thoughts of self-doubt to rest and, just trying to build some mental fitness, I suppose.
How far in did you sort of feel like you were like, I'm kind of undercutting myself here, like I need to sort of bump it up a bit?
When did I feel that? I think it was like a couple of months in, I was already like I could almost sense it from my clients too. Like they like to actually do 4 videos per month. There's quite a bit of like coordination from them as well. Yeah. So it was still like a learning curve at the same time. But I think it was about 6 months through that I was like, shit, this is like too cheap or like it just didn't work. So I sort of flipped the model to like instead of 4 videos, like it was just one quality like video. Yeah. And then I probably changed my sales deck, which has all my prices in it. I probably changed that like 3 times in my first year. Yeah. And it's just one of those things like because it was so cheap and like I didn't really have too many people say no. Yeah. So it was like I still didn't know what the actual true value was. So I feel like we've sort of got it at a good amount now. Like we've had, like I have to work a lot harder now to, really, I have to work a lot harder now to really not convince people, but, to, get these leads turned into transactions and conversions.
Do you base like your pricing on how you do you think like how many hours is this going to take me to work?
Pretty much, bro. Like I've sort of mapped out what I think, one good video should take. Yeah. And I've pretty much said like, or we'll say 1 video per month typically takes, 4 hours. Yeah. And editing could be 8 to 10 hours, let's say that. Yeah. And then, so I sort of just base it on that just because sometimes when you're talking, like when you're trying to price stuff up and you're like, oh, well, depending on what you need filmed, that could take 2 to 6 hours or like it could be half an hour here, half an hour there. I just felt it was easy to just say like 4 hours of filming and then 4 hours of filming, but we don't micromanage those 4 hours. Like sometimes like 1 month they'll be like 2 hours, next month it could be 6 hours.
Baseline so kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah, but so that's sort of the foundation of it. But I guess the key thing is they get that commitment from us that for 12 months we're looking to help them grow their business, get more customers, get more sales, and just raising awareness of their brand.
I think what people don't understand too as well is the sort of like the work that actually goes into making videos, because like people would think, you just turn up in video and then put it together in a video and that's so expensive, but like there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, bro, that's right. Like it's not something where you can just rock up with an iPhone and then you know, chop it together and in like a free video editing app. You know, I reckon there's still, you know, like good space for that, you know, like Reels and TikTok. Like, you know, sometimes like filming stuff on a phone and chopping that together is good. Like it really goes hand in hand, I reckon, with like professional video content. But yeah, a lot of people don't realise what goes on behind the scenes, and that's probably stuff we should be doing more too. Like, you know, we should have a documentary on one video, you know. It's like, in total this has taken 6 hours. What we've done in the 6 hours is we've done this first, then we've gone and added these sound effects.
Right, yeah.
We like that because it, I don't know, makes it seem a bit more in the moment. But yeah, if you haven't, I suppose like anything, you sort of, if you haven't tried it, you won't know at all like what's required.
But we'll go straight to our Q&A off Insta. Had a few questions come through for you, so we'll do that to wrap it up. How do you change the emotion of a video?
How do we change the emotion of a video? Like I sort of mentioned like earlier before, I feel like sound is like a big way to like change the emotion in the video. Even like shot selection as well. Like having people, you know, staring down the screen, or it depends what sort of vibe you're going for. But yeah, like shot selection and sound is probably like number one, like the big things that can really, you know, create emotion in a video. Like sometimes like a black screen with all these sounds going, you know, like you know, really creates emotion. So yeah, that would be it, bro.
Nice. If you're at a Kiwis game against Tonga and you have to grab the beers for the bros, what brand are you grabbing?
Obviously the cheapest.
That's an inside one there, I can tell.
Yeah, and the Line Reds always cheaper than the others are.
Your favourite things to video?
Well, that's a good question. Favourite things to video? I feel like lately I've really enjoyed like construction.
Right.
Like I really like enjoy watching or just documenting it for them, but you know, really seeing like an empty plot of land, like go from that to like this beautiful home. Like I really enjoy that. I think when I first started, it was always like fitness, like you know, like gym videos. But I feel like I've done so many now that, not to say that I'm sick of it, but you know, like sometimes it feels like, oh, I'm just doing the same thing, or like I'll catch myself going, oh, I'm just trying to do what I did at that last video shoot. But yeah, like construction and one of my clients, as well as like a clothing brand, I quite enjoy, like, and they love having like a campaign video to support their launches, and I really like these sorts of videos too, because they go like all in with it too. Like they go makeup, you know, they get someone in for hair, and they just go all out with it. So I think clothing as well is something that I really like filming as well, bro. So
nice.
Like you said before.
What about weddings?
Weddings are all good, bro. They
be difficult, would it?
Yeah, it can be, bro. Like I'm a pretty social.
You're like capturing the moment, like
bro. And like I've had moments at weddings too where, you know, like I've had things happen, you know, like cameras overheating and cameras breaking and things like that. So you sort of have to be on for the moment. But as I've done more and more, like I sort of get a lot more well prepared for it. But a lot of the toughest thing I reckon is like just bringing that personal energy as well. Like, because you're with the bride and groom, like for the whole, and their bridesmaids and groomsmen for the whole day. So you need to be able to get on with them, like to get good content. So they're really draining, bro. Like they're expensive. Like we do charge quite a bit for them, but I feel like we're the price that we charge ourselves out is what I believe we are.
Nice. Last one here is, where does your creativity come from? Do you think it comes from childhood, or do you think like?
Yeah, I reckon a little bit of childhood, bro. Like, like I used to always like get amongst like drawing quite a bit when I was young, like the performance car magazines. Like, like cars, bro. I used to or Dragon Ball Z, I used to get paper, put it over top, draw around it. And yeah, I used to get amongst that. And then I think, with my upbringing as well, I suppose, in our culture, Māori, we are good, I think, naturally storytellers. And, we love being able to pass on stories, but also with we used to go to a church, it's called the Rātana movement, which is basically I'll just put it this way, sort of like a Christianity take, Māori Christianity sort of mixed together. So it's not like traditional tikanga, but, and yeah, bro, at church, every Sunday they'd always talk about things in the week that were signs of stuff happening.
Oh, yeah.
I could always remember them saying I bet you didn't, they'd say, yeah, it's funny how it was raining before you guys turned up to church and then now it stopped. Right. There's just heaps of things like that they'd always be looking for things in the world, that would happen to sort of be a sign of something.
Yeah, right.
And and that's something that I reckon I do today too, when I'm filming, I'm really trying to, find the moments, find the emotions, and just really try and find stories out of that. So I think it's just a mixture of my childhood, I suppose, and then having inspirations too, just watching other people's work. My creativity comes from watching the likes of Jono. Did you watch Jono and Ben, bro? Back in the day, yeah. Their skits, the stuff they did at where they'd get celebrities to be fake staff and stuff like that, bro. It was it's outstanding, eh? But yeah, just sort of watching other people's work and just mixing it with some of my own stuff and seeing what I can come up with is that's where a lot of my creativity comes from.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. And almost your surroundings in a way, eh? Just things that you indulge in life and you don't even realise sometimes it actually adds to your creativity and the person you are, even if it's not creativity. But bro, that's it. But thanks for jumping on, brother. Thanks for sharing some of your time. We've been here for a wee bit, so I appreciate your time, bro. I appreciate you jumping on. And I mean, people are going to take a lot from this, and I know that for a fact you'll definitely touch at least one person's life in this. So I do appreciate you sharing a bit of your knowledge and stuff, bro.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, thanks for having me on, mate. Very privileged and humbled to be on the Hustlers podcast, bro. So yeah, I look forward to more work with you, bro, and connecting more and more.
That's us, bro. Up the Marlins or?
Yeah, bro.
Later, brother.
Have to.